Hi, welcome to BIP Chat with Penny Power. And for those of you who haven't listened to one of these podcasts, you're going to listen for about half an hour. It's always about enriching your business life, bringing you either business or personal ideas that help you perform better in business and personally. And so BIP Chat stands for Business is Personal, which is a book I wrote in 2018. And it is a belief that Thomas and I have shared for a long time. When we are emotionally strong, when we have strong emotionally engaged relationships with clients, when we actually have that human touch in our lives with people and with ourselves, we're going to do better. And we have a membership called BIP 100, and we look, well, Thomas mostly looks across LinkedIn and all his connections to find amazing, really innovative, exciting business owners that have a particular expertise that we can bring to you as suppliers. And I always believed, after being in business now 41 years in one way or another, one of the hardest things in business is finding the greatest suppliers for your business that are going to help you thrive and propel yourself. We spend too much of our time searching out clients, but what happens when you don't have the right suppliers that are nudging you and innovating you and helping you pivot? So in front of me now is a really lovely man called Lee Rennie. And hi, Lee. I'll let them see your face for a minute.
Hello. Yes. Thank you. Hi, Penny.
So a few weeks ago, Thomas, well, a little while, but before that, Thomas came rushing into the office, told me about this amazing man called Lee Rennie, who's the co-founder of a brilliant business called Milu. And the reason we're both so excited about it is that it really does bring the human touch into your life, into your business, which is sadly lacking in this digital world. And then he came to one of our lunches, and in walked this very handsome man that wasn't very difficult for me at all to talk to. And I absolutely fell in love with this business idea. So we're going to be talking about how to humanize your website. So Lee, I am so thrilled to have this conversation. I've been so excited about it. I think I might be your greatest evangelist because it's just
Thank you.
exactly what we need. So before we go any further, Lee, tell them what it is. Tell everyone what Milu is.
Brilliant. Yes, I will. So Milu is basically it's live chat on a website, but it's managed by a team of real people. So I think the closest thing we can relate this to is if you were to outsource your telephone answering, which a lot of businesses do, so that someone can answer it out of hours or when they're busy. And you get a real person at the end of a telephone rather than a telephone that isn't answered. We do that on our clients' websites. And so the live chat is there. Someone can click on it and start a conversation through text and messaging, and there's always someone at the other end to answer it. And we do that 24/7. So that, in a nutshell, is what Milu is.
It's amazing. So let's just talk about the opposite of Milu. So two
Yeah.
nights ago, I wanted to put a hammer through every device in my house because I was trying to get hold of Barclays. I wanted to do that out of hours because I work very strongly on my business in hours. And their phone line finishes at 5 o'clock. Mad. So I
Mhm.
then went onto their bot. Oh my God, I cannot believe the cycle I went into with this bot. I mean, it was just so painful. So I am quite excited about this becoming viral and everybody having humans answering the chat. So it's what we're going to talk about for you listening, whether you're walking your dog or in your car, is we're going to talk about this as something you can put into your business. And I am somebody who very much hates listening to something but not knowing A, how I would do it, and B, how much it would cost me. And that to me is really important. So it is my job as the person doing the interviewing to serve Lee and to serve you as the listener to really understand this and realize this is so accessible for you. Any business is very accessible and the benefits of it are huge. So let's start off actually, Lee, let's talk about what the benefits are for companies when they have actually implemented this.
Yeah. So I think the biggest one, or the one that we kind of frame ourselves as, is that we're making our clients there for their visitors, no matter what time they visit. So it's someone comes into your website, the way that most websites are set up is that they expect you to do something like pick up the phone and call or fill in a form and wait for a response. And that's what websites have done for forever. Since they started, that's what websites had. And it's amazing that 30, 40 years on, they still do that. So by having real people on live chat, it allows visitors to ask quick questions or actually book something or pay for something, which if the live chat wasn't there, they may not do. So the main benefit is going to be that we help our clients get more business, get more sales, more leads, but we facilitate that through a simple human conversation that otherwise is done by a robot or is non-existent.
Yeah. So looking at that, I mean, for me, I think one of the greatest challenges we all have is lead generation and then converting the leads. It must make a huge difference to people engaging very quickly with you as potential clients.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of the time someone comes onto a website, they're looking at, you think about how much work goes into making the website what it is. Um, there's user journeys, there's colors that work, there's content that works. Most of the time we find with our clients is the visitor just wants to be able to do something that's that little bit further in, which is a bit of communication or engagement. So just asking a simple question can really help them go from being just a visitor to, I'm now interested in your business. You're here for me. I want to know more. I want to potentially buy your services or your products. And so that has huge value with what we do.
So I know, I just recently, I don't know if you've seen all the advertising that Bear Grylls is doing with his new water system that he's selling.
Do you know, I haven't seen that.
So I'm seeing it all the time on Instagram and
Okay.
Facebook. It's coming at me, and I have absolutely been all over their website. I've even sent a question in through their Contact Us about, okay, so you install this, but how much are the consumables? Because I want to know what's the ongoing.
Got it.
And they could have got an order from me about 8 weeks ago, and I'm not
Right.
getting the answer. And that is a real example for me of if they had somebody at the end, I would just ask the question and I'd be ready to close the business.
Yeah. Yeah, and you would probably do it online there and then as well. And that's another thing. When it's an e-commerce transaction, we do have clients that do that, for example. And often people just want to know about the delivery, how
Yeah.
much it's going to cost or how much more do I need to spend to get free delivery? And if they get that answer there and then they'll finish the process, they'll check out.
Absolutely.
And that's what the client wants. But by not being there for them, you can't guarantee that's going to happen.
No, I mean, I've had the same thing with Emma Mattress recently. We were just setting up
Okay.
a temporary spare room. Yeah, I mean, I could list, in fact, I could send you a list of companies I'd quite like you to get hold of for me and
Right,
get
okay.
get
Happy
them
to
on
do
it.
that.
But I'm sure we could all recognize this, but we wonder how many opportunities are just dropping through our own. We're all paying for SEO, we're all making sure our websites are optimized. This tiny little extra thing, it could make such a difference. So I want to get onto this business model
Yeah.
because a lot of people saying, well, I have to be enterprise level to be able to do something like this. So can you talk about the types of clients you work with and, the starting point of how that works?
Yeah, sure. So we created this so that the small and medium-sized businesses could have the sort of coverage that an enterprise would have. And ironically, enterprises tend to be the ones that will use a bot because of sheer volume. So in my opinion, the smaller businesses can't afford to miss an opportunity. So having the live chat on there really helps with that. So we do it very simple packages that are based on volume. And our beginning package that most of our clients are on, around 75% of our clients are on this, is for up to 50 raised chats a month, we charge £155 plus VAT.
Wow, that's
And
incredible.
that's 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. 7 days a week. And if you want 24/7, it's just another £50. So for around £200 a month, you've got real people on your website 24/7.
God, that's absolutely incredible. I mean, that's £3 an engagement. And you
Yeah.
actually think of what we pay for lead generation and Facebook advertising and all of
Yeah.
these things. It is absolutely fantastic, phenomenal. So that other 25% are big enterprise companies that are working with you that are having
Well,
thousands of.
yeah. That's at the very top end. So our kind of pricing structure is from that 155, and then it goes up to our highest paying clients about £2,500 a month. But they get lots and lots of chats every single day. So, over 100,000 visitors a month to the website. But it scales up. It makes sense that if you've got small numbers of traffic, you'll get smaller numbers of chats. But if you get more visitors, you'll get more chats. And
Yeah,
that's why we work really well with, we have lots of partnerships with things like digital marketing companies,
yeah.
because they're helping their clients get, essentially the bums on seats, and we're helping convert them from that to the next level.
Yeah, I want to come back to these partnerships because I think that's incredibly clever. I know quite a few of our BIPers and even Hannah, our daughter that helps people with personal branding, are really interested in advocating what you do to help these conversions and retain clients. Before we do
Yeah,
that, I want to give a little bit of context. So you founded this in 2018,
correct. Yeah.
so 6 years in, and you already got a fabulous business here. What were you doing leading up to that?
Okay. So before that, I owned a web design business. So that's how we kind of got into doing the live chat, because when you're building websites, so we built hundreds of websites for our clients, and every single one of them had telephone number, email address, contact form. And unless they were doing some pretty heavy duty kind of digital marketing and spending a decent amount per month getting traffic to it, they generally didn't get the sort of volumes of leads or of sales that they were expecting. And I
Mm,
think this kind of goes back to the old, beginning of the internet. If you had a website, you're in business. And we all know now that a website's just part of it. You need to market it and you need to get people to go to it. And there are so many channels to use to do that, like social media, etc. Um, so having built websites for so long and been frustrated about how kind of non-human they are and how disconnected from the business they were, it just felt like we needed to do something else that kind of brought it back. And it's exactly what you're doing, Penny. It's this whole humanizing
yeah.
things in this digital world. And the fact is, it works. So when we moved on from the websites and we started doing the live chat, we've still got clients that were with us from that first 2018, because it
Wow.
just works. They're just getting a nice stream of business every month from their website that they otherwise wouldn't have got. So it just makes sense.
It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, this I always say that when I do a keynote on this subject of human touch in the digital world, I always think that digitization, if you actually tracked mental health alongside digital,
Mhm.
you would see why
Yeah,
mental health has declined.
absolutely.
Because I think every frustration I have is something technical, trying to engage with a supplier, something technical, and to remove that, I think it does it actually, because at that point that you're wanting to engage with a company, even though you know that you're a minuscule of importance to them, you still want to feel significant. You still
Yeah.
want to feel they want your business.
Yes.
And I this is why I love this so much. So let's go on to the partnership sort of way that works. So you and I were going to start this about 45 minutes before we ended up starting this podcast, because you were
Yes.
caught on a call with somebody who's got 4,500 clients, digital marketing agency, who sees the potential in this and wants to work with you. So how do you work with partners like them, and are there other types of partners you work with?
Well, it's kind of come about from how we tried to sell Milu in the first place. So in the first few years of trading, selling directly to businesses has proven much more difficult than we thought. And I think it's because of the perception of live chat. I think most people believe that it's not a real person, that it is a bot, or it's some sort of automation. And so when we mention it, it kind of falls into that kind of pigeonhole, and therefore it's kind of dismissed quite early. So we found very quickly that digital marketing companies, or anyone doing any kind of marketing or advertising on behalf of their clients, they are ultimately getting their websites and their brands more exposure. And that's where we thrive, because more people on a website, more chats.
Yeah,
It's a simple law of numbers.
yeah,
Um, so what we then realized was that most digital marketing companies also believe that live chat is either a chatbot or the client has to do it themselves. And just to give you some context on doing it yourself, even if you wanted to do it from 9 till 5, normal business hours, Monday to Friday, if you want someone dedicated to doing that, you're straight in for, a normal salary for one person. They're going to have breaks, they're going to have lunch, they're going to have holiday, they're going to be sick. You almost need two people. And now suddenly your costs are ramping up just to
yeah.
cover live chat, which if you aren't doing any digital marketing, probably won't bring you in a huge amount anyway. So we really kind of saw how we could fit this in with digital marketing, and we should be part of a digital marketer's process. You know, they're going to help review the website. They're going to look at all the different channels that a business is using, and then they're going to try and get traffic to that website and convert it. And we totally need to be in that part of the conversation. And
Yeah.
I can guarantee that we're not. You know, there's very,
Yeah.
very few companies that are doing that. And it's not their fault. I think it's just we aren't exposed to them enough, which
Yeah.
is why we're now focusing our sales actually on partners as
Yeah.
opposed to selling directly to, you know, the client, the end client.
Yeah, I love that. Do you know, I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, I wish I could see a list of all the brands that you work with, because I'll move all my business to those brands.
Oh, they'd love that.
I know, wouldn't they? Love that. I know.
Yeah.
It's like I use the Yucca app that tells me all the what brands are using ultra processed foods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I just, I'll stay away from all those brands now.
Got it.
And yeah, I want one on who's using Milu.
Yeah,
Absolutely brilliant.
that would be good.
Now, in terms of people getting hold of you, obviously they can do it through Thomas and I. Also, let me give any of you the website, Milu, which is MELU chat.com.
That's it.
miluchat.com. Obviously, you can look Rennie spelled RENNIE on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But also you do webinars, don't you, to help people
Yes,
understand this? And
we do
is
do
there a
webinars.
pattern for that?
Yeah, so it's kind of every 6 weeks, and the idea is to try and get people to understand the kind of background to needing a live chat rather than actually just seeing it as a chatbot or something like that. So, for example, next week we're doing one which is to do with how digital marketing loves live chat, which is very much about trying to attract the attention of partners, because if they can see the value that they can give their clients, which in turn gives them more kind of credibility and also helps retain those clients,
Yeah.
then it's a no-brainer again. So that's what we're doing I think it's next week, but obviously we're recording this now, so that might have already happened.
Yeah.
We did another one about 6 weeks ago, which was about human live chat and how people make a difference. So it was right up your street, Penny, that one.
Absolutely fantastic. Very, very exciting. I love that you've got this business. I think it's, well, I think everybody can. I'm oozing enthusiasm about it. I can't wait
Thank you.
to be doing our website. I can't wait to get it onto our website. Everybody, literally everybody I talk to about it. And I know since you've joined BIP, there's been this sort of so many conversations, isn't it? It's just, to me, a
Yeah.
no-brainer in a world where I think in an AI digital world, in an AI world that's becoming so distancing us so much from one another, I think businesses like yours are going to fly. And I think businesses that use your technology will fly. And yeah, I've been so excited, as you know,
Amazing.
everybody can hear it, the excitement. So I hope you've loved listening to this as much as I've enjoyed talking to Lee. Get in touch with Thomas or I on LinkedIn if you want us to connect you to Lee, or of course connect directly with Lee through his website. Let me just repeat it again: Milu, MELU chat.com, or on LinkedIn. So Lee, thank you so much. Very, very excited and thrilled that you've become a BIPper with us.
No, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you embracing what we do and being so supportive of it. So thank you very much, Penny.
You're very, very welcome.